I'm ready to locally record.
Do you got a locally record bottom on your hands?
Okay, I got a thing.
He's
Here's the
already
thing.
into it.
I have a
He
problem.
saves you save everything for the stream, huh?
100% I do. Yeah, that's reliable. I mentioned it just right before we went live that I got pink eye. I think I got pink eye. Huh?
You think you got pink eye?
Oh shoot!
Tell me more.
We're not in Mario Kart. Where are we? Podcast?
Is my mic loud enough?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Let's
We're
go
on podcast
then.
now. But here's the thing.
Podcast.
I can't touch my own eyes, and I got these eye drops, and I'm the absolute worst. So I figured people might appreciate if I'm gonna put my eye drops in. Ugh.
You're putting your eye drops in now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now.
I'm not very good with putting things in my eyes either,
Ah!
especially when other people touch my eyes. Ooh, I guess if you're doing drops, that's technically another device touching your eyes.
Yeah, I can't touch my eyes at all. I'm a mess.
Don't.
Like, I will never wear contacts. There's one. Hold on, I gotta do that.
I'm kind of the same way. Yeah, contacts are scary to me.
Ah,
Plus, I got squinties.
right on. Oh, that was right on.
Right on, dog.
Right on, dog.
Right on.
I can't lose that.
Righto, Sally Jim. Cool.
don't-
Welcome to the stream, everybody.
The thing is, I don't think I got pink eye, but my eyes were pink. And I think I think you'll appreciate. I went to the walk-in clinic yesterday morning because somebody was like, "You might have pink eye," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, well I'm gonna go and find out." And I went, and I said to the doctor, "I can't confirm nor deny if anybody's farted on my pillow. I might have pink eye," and he was hilariously not funny because he's like, "No, I don't think you have. I don't think so. I don't think you." Nobody can fart on your pillow. Did somebody fart on your pillow? Like he was being.
Do you have
No,
suspicions?
I'm joking. That's how it is. So he looked at it. He's like, "Yeah, it could be. Put these drops in your eyes. Here we go. At least over the next week." And then he said that there's a big. Everybody in the city is starting to get pink eye, like it's circulating. So a little heads up to anybody hearing my voice right now. Pink eye is circulating. It may not be a pandemic, but there's pink eye circulating. Probably because kids are gross and they're all through school, but
just poopy fingers everywhere.
ugh, probably. And so I said to him, "Okay, I'll be sure not to fart in anybody's pillow." And he's like, "Oh, enough with the farting on people's pillows." And I'm like, "Well, if
It's
everybody's
like I'm a
got
doctor.
yeah, exactly." And I'm like, "Pink. If everybody's got pink eye, I have to assume that patient 0 probably had somebody fart on their pillow." And he was just like, "Oh, I think we're done here. Okay, goodbye." That's kind of the end of it. No, I don't think people were farting on people's pillows.
Help me understand this though.
Yeah.
You think you might have pink eye,
Mhm.
but the doctor said no, you don't.
No, on the contrary, he was just like, you could, yes.
How do they not know? Isn't there like a way they would know?
Look, the one thing I've learned about doctors these days is they're just guessing. They've got books behind their desk. They're just like grabbing the book off the shelf or looking at Google and just going, "Yep, that sounds like what it is." Same
Yeah. Hey Siri, does this look infected?
Yes, 100%. He takes a photo of me and then he leaves the room and he goes to Google or AI. Just tells him.
That's one of my favorite Seinfeld bits. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Licking
Oh,
all the tongue
is it the
depressors.
circle or the fire?
Yeah.
Is it the circle?
Yeah.
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 Ugh. So he said it could be, so I might as well get at least take the stuff and put it in my eyes over the next couple of days. But
Wow.
they probably have glasses that can do Google searches. Oh, that does make sense, Candace. You're right. Oh, we have to drink some water.
All right. Drink some water.
We're gonna-
Guitars
on fire.
Guitars on fire for you.
Good day.
If you're listening via audio, we stream live this show. So you can join the audience and listen to us jibber jabber.
And they can tell us
What's,
what to do.
So you got pink eye. You're in constant distress, obviously.
No, I don't think
I'm pretty
got
sure you
pink eye, though.
I'm pretty sure if you have pink eye, you wouldn't be like, "Yeah, let's stream tonight, dude." Like I'm
Right.
pretty sure it's like bad, isn't it? Like
He was
pink eye
asking,
hurts.
is it itchy? I'm like, no, it's not itchy. I've got glasses, so that's a shield instantly from me touching my eyes generally.
It's a poop shield, yeah.
It's poop shield, 100%. Yeah, yeah. And if people fart, yeah, it's my personal.
Bounces off the glasses.
It does. Yeah. People with glasses do not get pink eye for that exact reason. So no, I don't think I've got it, but just to be on the safe side, I'm putting these drops in my eyes 4 times a day, and my pupils are dilated.
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah, and I can hardly see in front of me. And my eyes feel like pressure. There's pressure behind them because they are against biotics. They're getting rid of them.
Antibiotics.
They're against it.
Wow.
The liquids I'm putting in my eyes are just like, you know what, biotics? Nope. Go away.
Stuff it. Stuff it, biotics. Get out of here.
Stop biotics.
Stop.
So I got nothing.
Stop. Wow. Well done.
Anyways, that's me. I'm sorry I dove right into that, but everybody got to experience who showed up before, right as we went live, me putting drops.
Well,
in
you
my
know,
eyes.
I don't know if you've noticed this trend, but yeah, like generally podcasters, when they log on to the episode, they do have to tell everybody what's going on with their bodies. It's really, yeah, like people want to know. People want to know. Dave Grohl, everybody wants to know what's up with his body, you know?
Well, he's making
know.
other bodies, apparently.
I saw the funniest. I think I might have sent it to you. What did I find? My favorite tweet on the whole Dave Grohl situation.
For those that don't know, Grolski, did he admit that he had a child out of wedlock? If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think he has a history of doing that before, unfortunately. But yeah,
But he's a rock star.
I guess he got ahead of the news.
Yes.
Which probably made it more of a news.
Yeah.
But my favorite. I guess it's not a tweet. It's a Threads. It's wow. Okay, unfollowing now. I love Dave Grohl's adultery. Had no idea his music sounded like that.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's good.
I just like what he did was wrong, right? But I guess
Yeah, I guess it was.
I guess my upbringing, I followed and listened to music of rock stars who were known for far worse shit and were celebrated for it, right?
Agreed.
So it's just so interesting that things can change and we're like, oh.
Yeah, well, imagine
there was a lot of mistakes made.
Imagine the John Kissman. What's his name? From Kiss.
Johnny Kiss, yeah.
What's his name? John Kissman. Who am I thinking from Kiss?
Well, there's Gene Simmons and
Gene
Paul
Simmons.
Stanley.
Imagine Gene Simmons got ahead of the crowd. He would be having like daily news conferences. No,
right.
Another child, by the way. Just a little heads up at my gig in Atlanta. I may or may not have impregnated somebody. Just in case you're wondering.
I'll be selling merch at the table of the new baby fetus that's in the body. Yep. It's just like I've experienced this multiple times in my life where like people expect like weird things from rock stars and other people when they're like, okay, so your entire life you build this repertoire of learning how to play an instrument, learning how to write songs. They happen to be hits. That doesn't make you like a businessman or expert on PR, and it doesn't mean they're like perfect people. They're just good at that one thing, you know? So
That's
it's like,
good, dude.
oh, he's made a mistake. Oh, he's the worst. It's like, well, no, he's not a perfect person. He's a musician, for Christ's sake.
Yes, not a perfect person.
Yeah, so
I think you're right. I think nowadays there's a assumption that if you do something, you must know everything about that thing, including the business.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And I mean, I guess it's with social media too. It's like, yes, people will want to join a band, but then you're like, hey, you need to learn how to use social media or your band is going nowhere, which is kind of unfair.
But it's true.
It's true. Yeah.
100% it's true. Yeah. I just want to play guitar, man. Well, get yourself a manager. Get yourself a John Socialman, you know?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. Like I remember a coworker was complaining about like a music store he was working with was crazy. It was crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, calm down. Like look at who started the store. Like
Oh, yeah.
so many music stores are started by musicians who just love being around. That doesn't mean they're like like
That's good.
savvy business people.
Yep.
Like they just want to be around it, I guess.
That's
So
a really good point.
It's funny.
When I think about music stores in particular, like some of the ones, like a lot of the smaller independent ones that I used to visit frequently, they're just a guy. You're absolutely right. Just a guy that played guitar is like, I'd like to sell a whole bunch of guitars. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Or
It's like
I know people, so why don't I just carry guitar strings and open up a store? But then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, this whole Facebook thing, I have no idea, or this social media thing, I don't know.
I don't know.
Do I go out front and wear a guitar costume and people walk through the door? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't. So, well, I don't want to know. I'm
Right.
done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out skis.
That's
Yeah,
a little bonkers. I don't disagree with you. That's really interesting. Huh.
Life is funny like that. Yeah. It's like, oh man, he totally screwed up. It's like, yeah, he's not perfect like all of us. He's the guy stands in
Wow.
front of guitar amps 8 hours a day. Like
To quote Tea Party, temptation. He, like, you got to be able to succumb to temptation at least, no? Like, we're not talking about that he accidentally slipped on a rug and made a baby. Like, he went out of his way to finish a show and hook up with somebody. There's got to be some accountability to that, you know?
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What he did was wrong, but I think it's like, yeah, it's wrong, but it's like wrong between like your wife and you.
Right.
Like the public shouldn't be like, that's wrong. What are you doing? Are you crazy? Like, no,
that's good. Yeah.
it shouldn't have no bearing on a musician's repertoire of songs.
I guess I kind of feel it did bring up a conversation. Quick side that I feel like back in the day, specifically the 60s and 70s, a lot of that was happening, and people just, like wives or husbands just ignored that.
Yeah. I mean, we're watching Mad Men again. And
Totally. Oh
Like,
my God.
So Emily was like, I want to watch like a dramatic show. Like we haven't found like a dramatic show we were really into. And she's like, I want to watch something that's finished, that is good all the way through. And I was like, okay, well, Mad Men, like I don't love,
Sure.
yeah,
but
I don't
yes.
love the way it ended, but it was good all the way
Yes.
through for the
Agreed.
most part. So we're watching that. And it's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but I remember watching it back when it aired, and like the obvious like 60s-isms, like the misogyny and stuff like that was
Yes.
was not as apparent. But when I watch it now, I'm just like, oh my God, they're like ripping.
Yep.
Like ripping into ladies, ripping into into the racism parts of that show. Like, and it's like it's like so extreme compared to like, it's so extreme nowadays that you're like, it's almost funny because it's like that is so blatantly awful.
Yeah, I
But,
think they've got to
yeah.
they had to do it over the top so that it wasn't like you weren't getting certain people going, I don't get it. This is normal life, isn't it? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get the
Yeah.
humor in this show. This is just how I lived, you know?
Yeah. It's
So they got to put it over the top. Good God.
It's really interesting. Yeah.
Oh, man. No, what I was going to say was Tanya and I were talking about when musicians do some dumb stuff, does it or does it not make their music or their creation any less sweet? You know?
That's tough. Yeah.
Right? Like when you
Like-
listen to James Brown, you're just like, Dad's got pocket. Holy cow, that's amazing. He used to beat his wife. And you're like, oh,
Yeah, he's like a
okay, well, I
prolific-
can't like this anymore. But can
Yeah.
you? Can you still like art when art is still good, regardless of the person that created it?
I think that's really tough because I'm a big fan of like the process and how they made things, like the story of how they made things. So like, I feel like it would be sullied somewhat if like the person behind it, who I admire from learning their process and understanding how they do things, to know that like a part of that process was being shitty towards someone or whatever. Like,
You're right.
I mean, I guess you got to respect the process, but yeah, it's tough. It's really tough.
Can we assume that most art has dark behind it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you know, like, when you fall in love with something, and you're like, that process must have been amazing, and then you find out the process and you're like, okay, well, I don't like that anymore now because of it? Or does it make the process even more kind of interesting to know that behind the scenes this type of stuff was happening?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Like excuse me. A good example is we went to go see a show last Thursday, and I had heard of the band, but I had not. I listened to them a little bit, but I had literally no recollection of what they sounded like or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of because it was kind of fun to like go into the concert not knowing or following their social media and knowing like what they are like or whatever. It was just about the music they were playing. And I kind of liked it. It was sweet.
Okay, that's interesting.
I wouldn't know if those guys had a sordid past or whatever, because I didn't do my usual due diligence. As usually, like I'm a prolific like listening or watching a movie, and I'm on Wikipedia learning about how they made it, and I didn't do it for this time, and I'm sort of like, yeah, cool. Sure.
You look up the menu before you go to the restaurant type situation.
I hope these guys aren't creeps.
Yep. And then afterwards, you're like, oh, they're creeps.
They're creeps. Yeah. They were Australian, so you could only imagine.
Australasians. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
The worst.
Have you heard of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard?
Is that who you went and saw?
Yeah, they were good. They were really
bonkers.
Good. Yeah, they're fun.
A friend from work got me into them. They are crazy. I
don't know how to describe what style of music
they're jam.
That is.
They're jam band.
It's just a jam?
Yeah. From what I understand, they just kind of press record, and whatever kind of happens, that they finish the record. They finish the 45 minutes, and they're like, oh, this is the album. Let's pump it out.
That makes sense. That was what I heard.
Whoever's listening to my voice is probably disagreeing, but that's the vibe. They are talented and awesome. Yeah.
So interesting part of that show as well. Yeah. We're already off on a tangent. Oh my God. One of the interesting parts I found is I've been like a little bit more sensitive with like my hearing lately, and like trying not to expose myself to large decibel levels. Okay. So I wore earplugs to the concert for the first time in a really long time. Okay. And I wore like those Heroes ones that are like the world, but quieter.
With filters in them.
Yeah. And it sounded really good, but it was really weird. It was a weird like feeling where like, because the volume level wasn't as loud as a concert normally is, I was like disassociating where I was. Yeah. And I was just sort of just, I was just sitting, man. I was sitting in the bleachers staring straight ahead, which is across to the other side of the bleachers, like not turning my head to see the band play. And I was just listening to them. And I was having a great time, but I was like completely like detached from where I was. It was like I was just sitting in my house, like listening to a record with my arms up, right? Yeah. And Emily even poked me. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm just listening. I'm just sitting here."
I'm listening. It was kind of weird. Headphones in. It literally sounds like you got headphones in, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was an interesting experience. It's been a long time since I've had that. I liked it.
Respond.
I was just chilling.
I'll respond to that and say, as a drummer. Oh my God, knock on wood on this one. I should be wearing earplugs all the time, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Nope. This guy don't. It's rare. I might have my in-ears in, like in-ear monitors in, and that's cool. I'll do that. But majority of the time when I'm jamming with bands or I'm playing, I pride myself on the fact that I'm not a hard hitter. I don't physically beat the hell out of the drums. I can play dynamically. And I can play to the threshold in which my ears can handle, which truthfully is still too loud. But I absolutely disassociate when I put earplugs in.
Interesting. You feel the same way.
Like it. Yeah, it does not feel like
it's not
behind the kit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you corroborated this. It was interesting. It was interesting. Yeah. It was really weird.
Yeah. I'll rarely wear earplugs. I'll take earplugs with me to concerts, and what am I thinking? There was a certain show that I saw where I was like, the earplugs are going in because shows are getting loud, son. Mm-hmm, Sound systems are getting intense enough to warrant some earplugs. But I guess if you're wearing earplugs, it means you got good seats.
That's true.
If you don't need earplugs, you're in the bleachers, you're in the nosebleeds. You don't need earplugs.
I mean, depending on the venue, because like
Mm.
Rogers Arena is pretty bad. Like the higher up you go, the more echo there
It's
is.
pretty echoey. Yeah, you're right.
Like bounces all up the top there.
But earplugs, man, what a weird balance. And disassociation is the word you used, and I definitely resonate with that. It definitely feels like I'm listening to the music. I'm not in the music.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
I wonder because I don't think I've ever. It's been a very long time, and I think I only did it once. Was playing with in-ear monitors.
Yeah.
Which, if you're listening at home, it's just the headphones. The band is piped through the headphones.
Mhm.
But I feel like that would be the same thing. It would be a lot to get used to. Like,
Well, that's what I was mentioning. So when I play live, I'll use in-ear monitors. Yes, often. I have my. Do I have them? Yeah, I've got them in my bag over there. I use my in-ears often. But when I don't, then I won't put earplugs in. But it's essentially my monitors are earplugs with speakers built in them, right?
right.
So there is, unless I'm getting a relatively cool mix or I'm in charge of my own mix, so I hear the guitars right, so I hear bass right, so I hear, whatever other musicians are on stage with me. Yeah, if I'm hearing that correct, then that's good. Or I'll put one in my ear and one not in, which happens more often than not. That way, at least I can hear the guitars and the bass and the vocals in one ear, and then the other ear is listening to all the screaming people in the first 5 rows of any given show that I'm in. Because you got to hear those. You have to hear the screaming. You need to know where those hotel room keys are flying from.
You got the hotel keys. Because back to this is the problem with Dave.
David Grohl. Exactly.
Yeah.
Full circle, son.
Just to be clear, what he did was very wrong and horrible. But
Sure. But
PJ does it. It's cool.
Normal now, exactly. It's normal within the industry, sadly, which is why it's a dark industry. It's a dark
It's
industry.
dark. It's dark. Don't look behind the curtain.
Don't get in the industry. I lost my wedding ring years ago.
I lost it.
I did. I don't have my wedding ring. But when I play live, people look at that drummer and they go, hey, is that guy single? I think he needs a hotel room key.
Yeah.
And then it's up to me to go, no, get your own sandwich. Or
Get your own
I go,
sandwich.
no, you go away.
Yeah, it's fun. Just God, they just keep crawling at me. Jeez.
It happens.
They see me play drums with swagger, and they're
Nobody
like,
knows
"Wow, I've never seen a guy play the drums like that." Yeah.
No, nobody even remembers the drummer. Doesn't matter.
No. It's the guitar player.
Yeah, guitar players is who everybody wants. That's exactly what it is. It's quite sad. Yeah.
Although speaking of like on stage confidence, I wanted to talk about this. This is like it's like you read my mind about things we want to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, what do you got?
So back it up. I did a video, and this isn't a plug of my latest video, but I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting. So I did a video talking about how when I tried to start a amplifier company, and it just like I didn't have the juice to do it. And it's like my most popular video I've ever done by like 10, 20 fold or something like that.
Cool, congratulations.
And
that's awesome.
I'm getting a lot of comments saying like, wow, you're so brave for telling people this story. And I'm sort of like, no, I'm not. Like, this is like there's a lot of confidence, I suppose, in telling people you've done something wrong, which we've talked about this many times on the podcast and whatnot.
It's a theme. Failure is a big theme of ours. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was even thinking about that quote you always say to celebrities.
Yeah. Do you want to hear it?
What is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Every clinic that I go to, like drum clinic or guitar clinic, I always say the same thing. Here we go. Or when we do a Drum Geek podcast, we always say, it's easy to put our heroes on a pedestal, but they seem more human when you see them fail. So can you demonstrate something you have not perfected so that we can see you fail? Yeah.
It's a good question. It's a great question.
I love failure. I'm a big fan of failure.
Tell me why Flipper failed, Elijah. Why did Flipper not do well?
Yeah.
Was the dolphin not flipping?
Yeah. He jumped right over top of it.
Yeah.
So failure, yeah. Absolutely embrace it, brother. Yeah.
So part of that, I was sort of like, I don't understand. Like, I don't have that bone in my body to like hold that stuff in. Like, there's no like, I guess it's a part of being confident is like, you don't really care what people think in that regard. Right.
Yeah.
And we just bought, or we just watched the documentary on Netflix of Lou Pearlman, that Dirty Pop documentary.
Yeah.
Who was famous for starting the Backstreet Boys and then NSYNC and then a bunch of other boy bands.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, it's just basically the story of like overconfidence. Because if you don't know, Lou Pearlman, I believe he died in jail. Like, he went to jail and he either passed away or he's still in jail. But he did some. He basically stole millions and millions of dollars from people.
Yeah.
And the reason they gave him their money willingly is because of this like, he's exuding confidence. This like kind of ugly, overweight guy just commands the room with confidence. And it's really interesting. It's a really interesting story. Everybody, like, even the like the part of the documentary is talking about how like he gave the Backstreet Boys like he funded everything, but when it came to like paying them on the road, he was paying them nothing basically. And they sued him over it. And at the end of the documentary, they've got a bunch of Backstreet Boys going to like his like birthday parties still. Like, they still are part of his life because he has this like magnet personality. It was really interesting. I loved it. It was great.
Because he still has influence?
Yeah, people believed in him, basically. Yeah.
I thought
Even
it was
before the
Max
Backstreet
Martin
Boys'
that ran
success.
everything.
Yeah.
Well, the reality is he absolutely he created a movement of like an era of music, for that matter. Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I will watch that. It's popped up, and I think I may already have it in my list, but that is definitely worth watching. Yes.
Yeah, it's only like 3 episodes, I think, right?
But in regards to failure, like, does he consider himself like still the most successful guy, or?
Oh, well, I think he would.
He died in
probably.
2016. Yeah. Wow.
He did. He did. Right. Didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really interesting because like it comes out of nowhere. Like I don't know. I don't want to be seen like a cynic, but like I remember watching the Mr. Rogers documentary, and I was like, all right, when's the juice come?
Yeah, exactly.
What did he do?
That's right.
And then like my favorite thing that I think I've said this a million times, but my favorite scene is when you're like waiting for the juice. You're like, all right, when's the drama gonna happen? What's he don't like? And then he like I believe the black policeman on the show was gay.
Yeah.
And he was like confronted with it, and he's just like, I thought about it, and I don't like, I'm good with it. And I'm like, no, what?
No, you're supposed
no,
to.
you had it. You could have had your chance to be. Yeah, but it's like
controversial.
Yeah. So like this show basically tells you the story of this Lou Pearlman guy who was kind of like skeezy business vibes.
Yeah.
So, and he used to sell blimps. He got out of it because he fell in love with the New Kids on the Block, and he wanted to do the same thing.
Wow. Created
this basically like cookie cutter set to do the Backstreet Boys. It has bajillions of dollars coming in from creating the Backstreet Boys, creating NSYNC, blah blah blah.
He's also got that sweet Garfunkel money.
He's got the Garfunkel monkey.
He's the first cousin of Art Garfunkel.
Isn't that funny? That's weird.
Yeah, it's actually funny.
So like the documentary goes pretty well, and you're like, all right, I can see where this is going. Yeah, prolific guy. And then it's like, and then he started stealing millions of dollars from his friends, family, and investors. It's like, oh wow, this came.
Feet up. Now the third act begins.
Yeah, the third act. He's literally, I believe it's the largest Ponzi scheme ever. I believe.
Really?
Or something like that. I can't remember. There's some statistic of him being the best ever Ponzi scheme. He's so good.
He's a blimpman. He formed an airship enterprises, leased a blimp to Jordache before actually owning one. Yeah, he's a blimpman.
Yeah, it's a good documentary, man.
But when I look at these numbers, like he did $3 million. He raised $3 million to purchase a blimp. And all that's making me think about is the fact that a blimp only costs $3 million. That's actually not.
It's pretty reasonable, right?
That's
$3 million in like the 80s, I think.
How much is a blimp now? I want to go on eBay and find that out. Okay, yeah, this is very interesting.
Good documentary. Highly recommend. And it was really, it came at a good time because I was thinking about what does it take to be confident? I was thinking about doing a video on it, like 3 steps to being confident. Although I have to be confident in what I'm saying. But it was interesting.
Confidence.
Sorry?
I heard something a while ago about you fake confidence and then you just become confident because you're faking it.
Is that the wrong message to send?
If you just confidently, like if you act like you're confident, then you're confident.
Just will it into existence.
Just will it. I'm going to close my eyes and cross the road. You either will or you won't, but you will.
You will or you won't, but you will.
But you will. Oh, but
you will. Don't worry.
Oh, but you will.
Yeah.
If you just act. I think that also related to if you just pretend that you're happy. Just pretend you're happy. Then you'll just be happy because you just pretend all the time. And then
that's got to wear off.
That's super. That's exactly. What psychologist said this? How brutal.
I'm so happy.
But I think it was regards to confidence that if you just try like acting like you are confident, then inevitably you will take on this. Oh, okay. Quick side.
Okay.
As usual, in relation to this, actually, perfect. I'm going to say it's perfect. Have you seen the movie, The Fall Guy? What was the name of that?
The Fall Guy?
Fall Guy, or Stunt Double? What was the name of this movie? Hold on.
Oh, the Ryan Gosling.
Nope. It was another one. It was on Netflix. I'm gonna have to go down a bit of a rabbit hole here. Hold on.
The Fall Guy was Netflix.
It had Glenn Powell in it. Hitman. It's called Hitman.
Okay? I have not seen that. No.
Hitman is on, I think, Netflix, and what it actually conveys is this exact topic that you're talking about. He plays a police officer, well, a volunteer police officer who's in the back of a truck listening to a person who's a cop baiting people that he's a hitman. So people are like, I want my husband killed. And he's like, oh, you want your husband killed? No problem. Give me the money. And the moment that he gets the money, they pounce on the person for hiring a hitman. Okay. So they're basically setting up people who want a hitman and then putting them in jail. So it was so boring. Oh, Queen's in chat right now, and she thought it was boring. We thought it was really good based on the psychology of what we were talking about, though, is that he gets put into the position where he has to be the hitman, and you just see him turn from like this neat, nerdy, geeky guy who just knows computers into like, all right, so I'm a hitman. Here we go. And he transforms himself into this confident hitman to try to bait people in. And then his arrest records go up huge because he knows exactly how to act like a hitman. And then, spoilers, it starts kind of consuming him a bit, right? The more you act like this thing. And that's really the premise of the entire thing, because he's also a professor. He's also a teacher at a university. The premise is exactly this, that if you pretend too much to be something or do something, it will consume you to the point where you are that thing.
Right. You start believing your lie, I guess.
Exactly right. Queen says it in chat right now. The plot was 1 page. I agree with you wholeheartedly. They really strung out like a short story into something long, but psychologically, it was interesting to see that that curve, that character arc happen with them.
Oh,
but you're right.
Cool.
There wasn't enough action, but it was still fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, movies right now are in a bit of a slump. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The 1 pager. We'll just stretch it out into a movie. Do we need to blow anything up? Nah. No. Just show Glenn on there. Glenn's hot. Glenn's hot right now.
Do one of two things. Either, I think that one in particular could have been a Sandra Bullock style film.
Right.
It had a little bit of action.
Miss Congeniality 4.
Which we don't have in theaters, and I don't think this was in a theater either.
Right.
But those at least exist a tiny bit. Like it's got a little bit of action, but it's got some Sandra Bullock-y type vibe to it, sure. And then there are Deadpool, Wolverine flicks happening in movies, Transformers 1, like there's all these other action flicks that are designed specifically for the theater, right?
Yeah. You know what's funny? Like when it comes to like, there's so many bombs for movies right now. They're bombing. And one of the things that I think the Deadpool and Wolverine thing did a really good job of, and I think it's probably like, if I were marketing movies, it would be like my number one thing I would focus on. And that's just showing people who make the movie care about the movie being good. Like it seems like like we're in the age where Netflix is like, we want as much content as we can. We need to watch our budget though, so hire these writers to just like whip up a story.
Yeah.
Just show me behind the scenes of these guys like trying to make the literal best thing they can. And if you can't show that, you probably shouldn't be making the movie.
I have to admit, yes to all of that, but that's pretty much marketing now, is that we don't necessarily care about the product. We care about the story of the product. We care about the people who made the product. We care about...
Absolutely.
Like, I want to see if I'm going to buy a new, I don't know, Sonar drum kit, I want to actually see the people in the office smiling and having fun and doing pranks with each other. And we love our jobs. It's amazing. And if they love their jobs, then the product is going to be a byproduct, literally, of that culture. So yeah, dude, 100%.
Yeah, I saw a really good TikTok or whatever.
Or
it's like
a thing.
People will see your brand on average like 6 to 8 seconds on a reel or whatever.
Yeah.
So you don't even have time to tell them anything. You just have to have a vibe. Like, what's the vibe you're trying to give them?
Yes.
And then they associate the vibe with your brand or whatever you're trying to sell, right?
I hear that. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's funny, like, like, part of me's like, man, all these box office bombs and stuff like that are like, people don't want to go see them. Meanwhile, it's been 11 years since the GTA 5 came out. And it's like, how come it's taking so long? Idiots. Hurry it up. Maybe you should forego some of the art. Maybe just
let it just get it out. Yes.
Get it out of there. Yeah.
My favorite thing is whenever something happens in the world, within the first 10 comments of any TikTok is always, well, this happened before we got GTA 6. Every time. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's happening in the game industry too. Like these companies are spending millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they're just bombing because they're like heartless games, right? Did we talk about the Concord thing?
We started talking about Concord, I feel like, not during the last stream, but yes.
I think we did at one point, yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff is nuts.
Talk about that for a second. Yeah.
It's basically like a... How do I explain what it is? Sony published it, and it was supposed to be like a free to... I don't know if it was free to play, but it was basically like a what do you call it? Like a shooter, like a hero shooter, like a multiplayer game.
Third person. It's like Fortnite style as usual.
Yeah. Like it's a first person game. It's designed to be played online, so there's like microtransactions and stuff like that to keep the game going. They launched this thing. I'm pretty sure they spent at least $100 million making it, and like the peak player base or something was like 1,000 people.
Brutal.
Like,
but that
just like the most heartless game.
That happened with Anthem as well, if you remember.
Oh yeah, because it was plagued with issues, and it was
correct.
It was very what do you call it when it's like surface level? Like it's not very deep. I guess it's very surface level.
Surface level, yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And so like Concord, Concord pulled it down. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're doing refunds to everybody.
Yeah, it performed so poorly that they refunded everybody who bought it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
they can write it off. write her off, son.
And now we can write it off.
Just
Yeah. And
write it
it's
off.
just like part and parcel to the creative industry we're in right now, where like this company thought they could just throw money at something and just expect it to do well in a super crowded market already.
Yeah.
People have less money than they did 2 years ago. And it's like, I don't know. It's kind of disheartening. It's like, you thought
from what I remember, I think it just appeared out of nowhere as well. So to hearken to what you were saying, there was no build up to it. There was no like hype for it. There was no fun marketing or vibe marketing, as you say, ahead of time. It just launches, and sometimes the word free is enough to get people excited, but it's not enough to make them sway from one game to another.
Yeah.
When you plant your flag in whatever game you're playing, right?
Yeah. Well, I remember, it's funny you say that, but I remember it wasn't the same day, but it was not very long after they announced Apex Legends that they're like, here's our game, you can play it next week, it's free.
And was
like, holy crap. Yeah.
I remember that.
But it was good. Like, it was good. It was at the very beginning of that game. It was good. Like,
yeah, but hold on. They had a massive card in their pocket. What's the term? Card up their sleeve? They had an ace up their sleeve.
They had aces.
If memory serves on that, they heavily paid Ninja to change from Fortnite over to Apex for a short amount of time, if I remember correct.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. So it went live, and Ninja basically got $300 billion or whatever amount of money that he got paid. Are you fact checking me? I would love if you were fact checking me. Fact check. Ninja
got banned.
Probably did. I haven't seen Ninja forever, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
but Ninja moved from Fortnite over to Apex. Oh my god, I want to fact check myself actually. Ninja.
I think you're right. I do remember it. I mean, everybody was playing that game when it came out.
Fortnite. Why did it? Yeah. So what I think that happened, and why that's important, that the marketing dollars for Apex was not done in Instagram or Meta data. It was done entirely. I will give Ninja $6 million, and all he does is live stream this new game, and he at any point has 150,000 followers watching him. Right. Worth
a
every
report.
dollar.
EA paid Ninja $1 million to play Apex Legends, which is way too little.
Oh,
that's the title of the article.
There we go. Yeah.
Kind of crazy I mean, they might be right. Like, that game's made like $1 billion or something like that so far, right?
And I do attribute it to the fact that $1 million was marketing dollars that got Apex going, and it's still being played today. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
So put your marketing dollars in the right place, fellas. But like, nobody was playing Anthem day one. Who was playing Concord day one? Who, for the love of God, was playing No Man's Sky day one?
Man.
There was
a lot of people playing.
I pre-ordered it. I totally pre-ordered it, and I got it, and it was garbage.
See, like that, like there's an example of like where it could swing too hard the other way. Like they were like, we're super passionate about this game. We're going to change the world. And then they're like, oh, right, we didn't manage expectations there. Now they expect this crazy, crazy thing, right?
This is the part of the stream when we talk about video games, by the way. Two things hurt me during that summer. Two things. I've talked about it before. I prepaid for No Man's Sky, and I also prepaid for the Division 2. Okay. Division 2 was awesome because during the trailer, it showed that you could remotely go in with your iPad and play as a drone. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was just like, I'm in, because I did a lot of traveling, as you know, and I wanted to be in hotel rooms and still playing the game because they didn't have remote play with PlayStation at that point. So I wanted to be able to still play, but as a different character, quote unquote. Day one launch, none of that happened. Spoilers, that game's been out for, I don't know, 6 years now. They still do updates on it. That doesn't exist still.
Yeah, I think
super frustrating.
I think they admitted that like it was screwing up the balancing. Although
Oh,
that
sounds right.
company was never good at balancing, so I don't know
Was
what
that
they were
Ubi? I
scared
think it
of.
was Ubisoft. Yeah.
That was Massive, which is owned by
Right.
Ubisoft. Yeah,
Yeah. God,
yeah,
pissed me off.
that was a frustrating launch because like we loved the first game,
Yep.
and they had finally, after years of of them like breaking the balance of the game and then fixing it again, breaking it, fixing it, they finally got to a good place with the first game.
Yes.
Then they came out with the second one and changed all the mechanics and the balancing. And it's like,
They really went RPG with it. Yeah.
you really didn't have to do that. I mean, Bungie did the same with Destiny. Like they spent years dialing in that game, and then Destiny 2 pops up, and they're like, "No, we forgot how to make good games. It's gonna take us years to fix this one now." Like,
and they haven't. That's exactly. They keep doing. They gave it out free at one point on PlayStation, just to try to get people playing it.
These.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, marketing, folks. Yeah.
Yep.
Holy
Marketing.
cow.
I mean,
know your peeps.
Is the problem inherent that every company is expected to grow every year? Is that the inherent evil we have to deal with?
Are people still pre-ordering?
Oh, I hope not.
I don't. I certainly don't. It makes no difference pre-ordering or downloading it the moment it goes live. It makes no difference other than you're putting money in their pocket, or there's a bit of incentivizing, like you get some paid, I don't know, clothing or something like that, or upgrades and that type of thing, which to be honest, you end up, outgrowing by level 3. They give you like level 3 armor or something like that, and then congrats, thanks for buying our game 6 months in advance.
Yeah.
So
I always like
no.
on the gaming subreddit on Reddit, whenever there's like a new trailer of a Ubisoft game, always one of the comments is like, just a reminder, collectively we all agreed that you do not pre-order Ubisoft games. Do not pre-order Ubisoft games.
Stop feeding this. Yes.
Yeah, stop. Don't pre-order it.
Oh God.
Because apparently that Star Wars game is like okay.
Outcast.
Just like
that?
farts. Is it Outcast? Is that what it's called?
Outlaws. Out something or other.
Out something. Outhouse. Star Wars Outhouse.
Star Wars Outhouses.
Outlaws. You're right.
You heard me.
Outlaws.
Outlaws. I don't think I said outlaws, but that's fine. I did. Outhouses.
Outhouse.
It's got to be your
32% like this game. Wow.
Yeah.
After 5 hours.
The balance, like I feel like if I paid in advance, it's kind of like, what's it called? Girl math or guy math. Like if I paid for a game 6 months in advance, then on day one it was free. It was a free game.
Away.
Yeah, that money went away 6 months ago, so now that game is free. So I download it for free, and then now it has to be better than free.
That's crazy logic, but it kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Free.
It's free, so now I'm like, oh, this game's free. This is trash game. I had no fun playing this free game.
This is poopy. This
But
poopy game.
meanwhile, I do have to admit, like when I bought a game, I'll talk about it to the end of time. Elden Ring. I paid $90 for that game. I bought it, loaded it, hated it. 3 hours later, realized that I was $90 cheaper. Within 3 hours, I had $90 less in my bank account, and I hated this thing that I was playing. That was not a free game.
You paid for that one.
That hurt more. It hurt more. But if I had bought it, I don't know, 6 months ago, gave them money 6 months ago, and then downloaded it, and I'm like, this game's not for me. Oh, okay. I wouldn't necessarily feel so bad because it was a free game.
I suppose. Yeah.
Right?
That's fair. That's fair. That makes sense.
Stupid math, but you know what I mean.
It's I mean that's the problem with humans, right? And like
True.
Like subscriptions. They're like, oh, it's only $8 a month. And then it's like $8 a month forever.
Yeah. You don't own okay. We talked about this as well, the old physical media situation. Obviously it's never going back to that, but you just rent games now, right? You're buying the right to play the game, which is why Concord needs to refund you that money because you paid for the ability to play that game, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
if that game is being taken away, then I don't own the ability to play that. ...
Yeah.
I pay for a subscription on Netflix, but they take up and down movies all the time. Even in the middle of me watching a movie, 2 days later, it is literally not available anymore. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm never watching that movie again. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Why is that okay?
I'm kind of over that. Yeah. Especially like when they have the subscription service for games and there should be like a policy where if you have the game downloaded and you're like actively playing it, like you still have access to the game until you finish it. Because I got burned on Mad Max and Stray. Yeah, Stray was on PlayStation, and I was like, "This is amazing!" And then like the next day, it's like,
gone.
Oh, I was halfway through that.
Yeah,
gone.
Andrew in chat just said something interesting. Same thing when I buy concert tickets months or years in advance. It's a free concert. That's true. Yeah, because when you buy tickets to see Kiss or whatever you're going to see 6 months or a year in advance, all you need to worry about now is hotel costs and rental cars and like food and everything. The concert actually free. You walk in and you're like, that's a free concert. That's funny. Yeah.
I didn't pay anything for this.
I didn't pay. No. Taylor Swift, only Kiss. Yeah, only Kiss.
Only Kiss.
Taylor Swift. You pay 3 years in advance. Every show is free at that point.
Right.
Why are we not doing subscription-based concert tickets?
Oh, don't give Ticketmaster any ideas.
Wait. I remember Dave Matthews. Dave Matthews, I think, as an example, was doing NFTs as concert tickets.
That's not cool.
Somebody was doing concert ticket where when you own the NFT, it got you a ticket in your home city, I guess, at this specific seat every time they came to town. That was your seat. And if you sold the NFT to somebody else, then that was their seat. You're essentially selling that seat.
That's interesting.
Huh.
I don't know about that one.
Stray's entire team quit on them recently? Yes, it did.
Yeah, Annapurna or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. And I applaud
they all
those
walked
guys.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, nah. Take some. I guess it might be easier because in dev land they're used to jumping from, like they're used to getting laid off. So
but Stray was a great game. You got that on your LinkedIn page that you worked on that. You can move over to Ubi pretty easily.
You can Ube up. Yeah.
You could Ube up. You could EA it up. You could Microsoft it up. You could anything up. No problem.
Yeah, that was a crazy situation. So yeah, the entire staff of Annapurna Interactive, the games unit of Annapurna, has quit after a deal to convert the division into a separate company fell through last week.
Right.
The talks, which ultimately broke down, took place between Annapurna Pictures founder Megan Ellison and Nathan Gary, former president of Annapurna. All 25 members of the interactive team collectively resigned. This was one of the hardest decisions we've ever had to make.
Hardest
we
ever.
did not take this action lightly.
No.
That's interesting. Yeah. So they were like, we would like to be separate from your entity. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Okay, well, we'll just I guess they don't have compete clauses, I guess. So they're just like, well, we're just going to start our own shooby dooby over here.
I think that's kind of the worst when you've got some awesome devs and they're just like, oh, we're just going to do our own thing over here. Spoilers, I designed your engine, by the way. Beep, bop, boop.
Right, yeah. Then you got to pay someone to learn.
Who owns the engine? Are they just using Unreal, or what engine are they using? And if it's a custom engine, does the devs own it, or does the company own it? Probably the company, now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you like license the engine, right?
Sure.
Isn't that how it works?
A company is only as strong as the engine in which they're based on.
Yeah.
Right.
The janitor is the engine, generally speaking.
What?
Right? You're only as powerful as the strongest employee. Is that the saying?
Yeah, it's got to be your bull.
Your bull. Your bull. I don't know what you said there.
It has to be.
Or are you talking
your bull?
Control? Is that Control reference?
No.
No,
they used Unreal? Yeah, they probably did use Unreal. No, I was quoting Tommy Boy. Sorry.
Oh, I missed that. I thought you were talking about the janitor from Control. That game was dope.
Dude, Control. Okay. I think they're making part 2 by the by.
I think they're making a movie too.
Yeah. Okay.
I look forward to being disappointed by that.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, good. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Control is amazing, by the way. If anybody has never played the game Control, that is in the same world as
Gotta be
Alan
one of
Wake. I played Alan Wake 1, and I thought it was phenomenal. I didn't play Alan Wake 2 yet, but
I didn't like Alan Wake. It was too,
spooky.
I don't know, fiddly.
No, it was just a lot of
The
walking.
gameplay
around.
wasn't fun. The gameplay was horrible.
It was lots of walking around and lots of spooky things that were happening. I'll agree with you on that.
It was spooking. Yeah.
But Control, oh my god, Control was so great.
Yeah.
Especially the puzzle room, the maze room. Oh,
I'd love for them to. When I was playing the game, I was like, man, I really hope Hollywood gets a hold of this franchise and just waters it down.
Yeah, of
completely to crappy Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Yep, 100%.
Please. Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal was in the movie. I think The Division.
Did that come out?
I think they made a Division movie. And
No, I think they canned it. They must have
crept
canned
it.
that.
Nope, I think that it literally Division movie. Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know how to spell his name. Thanks, Google.
9 months ago. What happened to the movie?
Yeah, The Division.
It got
direct.
stuck at 9%.
Yeah, Jessica Chastain was in it.
Yeah, they were like ready to go, right?
I think so. Yeah, it got shelved probably.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, movies are expensive.
Filming locations. Yeah, they filmed it.
Did they really film it?
Yeah, it's filmed. We gotta find out
no
where to
way.
watch it. Once again, another amazing story, but like, it literally is like direct to your cell phone, direct to YouTube TV, probably.
Oh, I guess
Distributor
guess-
Netflix.
I guess they might have a problem putting it out because it was about a pandemic.
It was 100% pandemic. Yes, you're absolutely right. A
It's
pandemic
topical. It's
virus
great.
is spread via paper money on Black Friday. That was pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
brutal.
So, video game movies. Traditionally, we've talked about it on previous streams. We've actually done video game movie streams, and traditionally, not good. Not good.
Yeah, I hear the Borderlands movie is atrocious.
I heard that
Yeah.
as well.
And it's just like, and it's like the classic trope of bad video game movie where it's not even like pleasing the original fans,
yeah.
and then like new fans are like, what is this crap? This is weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Queen said it
have
in
you
there, passing a
learned
60-year-old for a 20-year-old. Now, truthfully, I've never played Borderland. I downloaded it a few times, but then never played it. So it's free.
I didn't either. Yeah.
But I heard good things about the game. Heard great things about the game, actually.
I
And
hear
then
it's
I
weird,
saw-
funny. Yeah.
I have a problem. I've talked about this on streams before. I have a problem when I see somebody speed run a game and they beat it very quickly. And then I'm
Right.
like, I don't want to play that game anymore.
That's fair.
I
That's
saw
totally
somebody
fair.
beat Untitled Goose Game in like 3.5 minutes because they glitched through like the fences and stuff. And I literally was like, oh, I guess I'm never playing that game.
That's not
ever
fair.
again.
That game, like, the fence was the level.
I know.
Like,
They glitched through it. So me knowing that I can just glitch through it and finish the game
it's not.
was
no.
just like, oh, well, that's the end. I guess I'm done with that game.
That's the end.
Yeah. So I see lots of speedrunners play games, and I see them complete it in like 45 minutes. And I saw somebody recently complete Horizon Zero Dawn in about 2 hours. And it took
Wow.
me like 55, 60 hours to beat that. It took me a lot because I was
They obviously
doing everything.
skipped. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just knew what to hit, and he just went through it. And I'm like, that's a 2-hour game? Oh my god! Well,
Wow.
I'm never playing that game again. Holy Jesus!
I mean, it certainly would have made the game more fun to play.
if it was 2 hours long.
Yeah, that game was so boring. I'm sorry.
Oh, I love that game.
The second one was even more boring. Oh, it's brutal.
Oh my god, that's where you bonk dinosaurs on the nose.
So
right?
much bonking. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've talked about it on stream before. I paid $30 for Sonic Mania, and I beat that in about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And
You were
I'm like,
buying
what
the
am I-
vibe.
what
You
am
were
I
buying the
doing?
vibe.
I'm done. Yeah, that would, dollars to minutes did not equate.
That's because it's an old game where you're supposed to replay it over and over and over and
Totally,
over again.
yes.
Come on.
So full circle, Borderlands. That's what I heard. Is that like that's what I saw was somebody complete it very quickly, enough that I'm like, oh, I'm not going to play that game again. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Not going to do it.
On the movie side of Borderlands,
Mhm.
I read an article about how like Lionsgate Films is based in Vancouver, I
Yes.
believe.
Yes.
Yeah, or started in Vancouver.
No, I think it's based in. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty sure it was found, right?
Why are you making me doubt myself? I don't know if you
Pretty
know, but
sure.
I lived in Vancouver for 20 years. I don't know if you know that.
Oh no, never mind. Sorry, they did not. They do a lot of filming up here. Anyway, they've had so many bombs lately
Oh, really?
that there's a lot of speculation that one more and they're done. Like they're completely out.
Really?
Right? And they just had an issue with they're doing the new Francis Ford Coppola movie. And did you hear about this?
No, tell me.
So, I don't remember why. I don't know why they did it. I think it didn't screen well at like an award, like a Cannes Film Festival or whatever it is. It didn't screen well. So what they did was they put out a trailer for this new movie called Megalopolis, I think it's called.
Oh.
And
yeah?
they in front of the trailer, during the trailer, they put a bunch of like quotes from like critics from like past Francis Ford Coppola's that like gave them a negative review. Sort of basically insinuating that like critics aren't always right. And critics sometimes don't get it, right?
Yes.
Because like obviously the movies that Francis Ford Coppola did are very famous, right? And I remember when I was growing up, Eyes Wide Shut. I remember people did not understand that movie when it came out. Like
I remember that, but I never saw it again. I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it came out that the quotes that they got for that trailer were not real quotes and they were generated by AI.
What?
So the company, they like immediately fired that marketing company, and it's like this whole big thing because it was like attributing quotes that people that they named on the trailer didn't say, right?
Whoa. Yeah.
So part and parcel to there's the vibe that this Megalopolis movie is not going to do very well, and it could be the one that just takes down this company because they've it's just cost $1 trillion to make,
which is nothing these days. It's fine.
So
it's
it's
just
nothing.
outer space and back. AI was responsible for the fake quotes. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Megalopolis trailer fake critic quotes.
Fake critic quotes.
And what were the quotes?
They were like along the lines of like
Diminished by its artsiness.
Yeah, shit like
Pauline from the New Yorker said that.
Yeah.
That's nice. Apparently.
Like people who didn't like Francis Ford Coppola's movies before, basically they were showing that, not all critics can be right,
Right.
It's very interesting. I love that stuff. Like this, we're in such like a interesting world for advertising and marketing, and like people are voting with their wallet, right? Like this is like prime voting with your wallet territory when people are very selective of what they spend their money on. So if you just like phone things in, like you will immediately be called on those things, right?
Yeah.
It's really good.
But what a balance though. Like if you're going to put a lot of money into something and it's trash, then you oversold it. Kind of like that Zack Snyder movies that came out. What was that one?
Red Zero Dawn or something like that.
Zack Snyder.
Red Dawn, something like that.
No. Movies on Netflix. Movies. Oh God, what a waste of. Hold on, movies Netflix. There you go. Oh, Rebel Moon.
Right.
Rebel Moon had a whole bunch of like lead up to it, it's supposed to be absolutely amazing. And dude, snoozer,
Just a total what? Total snoozer?
a total snooze. Like halfway through Rebel, like I just remember Tanya and I looking at each other like, we shut this off, right? Ugh. It's every trope you could possibly imagine, like, was in it. And we're like, okay, we're not watching this. And then part 2 came out, and it sounds like it was equally snooze skis.
Right. They're like buying into like this guy from multiple movies, which is
Right.
wild.
But I think that's the weight. The weight is if you've got Steven Spielberg doing your film, you already have an A+ in everybody's head.
Right. Yeah.
Right? And now it's gotta suck. Where if you got a nobody, then your first assumption is it's gonna suck, and now they need to build you up. Right?
Right.
At least in my head. That's kind of
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Zack Snyder is enough that people are like, damn, he's good. He's done a whole bunch of awesome stuff. Give him the director's cut, of course. Don't
think they
let
did
the
it with those
film
movies,
company
didn't they?
tell him what to do. His director's cut is the best. And then they give him the reins to do this, and it's poop-a-loop.
Just poop a loop.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's upsetting.
I mean, he makes cool looking movies.
True.
If he has a comic book to go off, then not bad.
But I think that's kind of the deal. People have reputation until they don't. Think about like M. Night Shyamalan, right?
He's kind of coming back, huh?
Did you see Trap?
No, I
see it
didn't.
yet. No.
No.
I'll see that because I like M. Night, all of M. Night's movies.
You like all of them?
I do, every single one. The Village was amazing. Old was thought-provoking. Thought-provoking is my answer for something that was not as good, but still interesting.
I'd like to watch the Knock at the Cabin one. Is that
That was
good?
good. I enjoyed that.
Good.
I liked that. It was super twisted. Yeah, that was good.
It was twisted. Okay.
But what's his name? Bautista was in it. He was
Right.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Lady in the Lake or Lady in the Water was great.
Was that the one where they had sex with the fish?
No,
No, that's something else.
that's another movie. I remember
What's
that.
the one where she has sex with the fish?
Water. Man in the Water. Waterman. Waterman.
Waterman.
John Waterman.
Waterworld.
Waterworld, which by the way is an underrated movie as well. I rewatched that. Waterworld is actually Mad Max on the water. It's actually
There
kinda
was a
good.
director's cut of Waterworld
Really?
that is much better. It's a bit long.
I'm okay with
but-
that.
It explains way more. Way more.
About the
Just
smokers
more-
and about like
Yeah.
and how much value sand is. Dude, I like
Yeah.
that movie. I liked it.
Again, like it's just a funny thing. They're like, we're gonna spend gajillions of dollars making this floating island, but the movie has to be an hour and a half. Kevin, fuck off.
Right.
Like, come on, get your money's worth. What are we
More.
doing here?
Hey, I just did Field of Dreams. Isn't that good enough? No. We need you in the water with gills.
It was The Shape of Water.
Shape of
It's
Water.
the one
That's
where
right.
she has sex with the fish.
She did.
Sure,
He's
Do
good looking
it.
fish.
good looking fish.
He's good looking fish.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in a tough time for movies and entertainment in general. People are the value proposition is weird right now with AI and all that stuff, and yeah, and like you can like I'm making theories here, but you're starting to see movies are way too expensive to make, right? Like they're ballooning out of control, right? They're making, Game of Thrones. They're like, oh, we want to do a season of Game of Thrones. Do we have $200 million to make this? I don't know.
Yeah.
So you're starting to see huge production costs, right?
Is it the cost of productions are costing so? Wait, what a weird sentence to say. Is
So-
the cost of productions going up in cost?
So a big part of the production costs, not a large majority of it, but certainly this is my theory. So the reason we're seeing so much advancement in AI, like visual technology for like creating fake scenes and stuff, is because you can see the demand starting to show where these companies are spending $200 million to put CG on every single frame of the movie.
Yes.
But now they're like, well, what if we just got this computer to do it. So it's a little, I just feel it coming. I can 100% feel it coming. Like rather than doing a CG explosion, you just be like, AI, make this car blow up, and it will. Yeah. So
you just go, AI, can you erase this mustache from Superman, please?
dude, 100%. I bet there's video. I bet there's a YouTube video on there right now that
it's probably a better mustache removal. Yeah.
Yeah. So like so my theory is that you can see that where the innovation is happening is because there's literally like big dollars like asking for those innovations. Like innovation is always driven by money, right? So like that's why you're going to start seeing animators and digital modelers and stuff like that. They should be shaking their boots. If they're not shaking their boots, they should be.
No, but what I think about is the fact that I'm noticing some movies and shows, it feels like it goes into a cutscene, like a game cutscene. Instead of just having the actor do their thing, you can now literally, like a Marvel flick, it's entirely 100% CG. You could have fight scenes. I feel like that was pretty heavy in Deadpool in particular, where like entire scenes for minutes long had no actual actors in it at all.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we haven't figured out his suit yet. Well, we'll just CGI it onto him.
Completely. Yeah.
So it's almost like they're getting lazy. So the costs are ballooning, right?
You're just allowing AI to just take over because why not? Why not? Right?
Yeah. It's funny. We just rewatched the Blade trilogy after Deadpool.
Yes.
And Emily loved it. She's like, "This is unhinged. There's
always some motherfucker trying to ice skate up." It's my favorite line every time.
Because it's like funny, but it's also very self-serious. You know what I mean? Like he says something funny, but the characters are like, "We're in a serious movie."
Agreed.
Vampires.
Yeah. You're right. That's really funny. Yeah.
And you reminded me because Blade 2, I don't know if it was the first, but it was one of the first where like the fight scenes would switch to like fully digital Blade, flipping through the sky, and it's really obvious. Yep. But it's fine.
if you can disassociate and see the movie for what it is, sure.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time doing that personally.
The fight scenes in that movie are pretty brutal. Like he'll like jump in the air and he'll like real guy jump in the air, do a flip, and then he'll like you can see where it like CGI model like merges with him, and then he drops at a different speed. It's
out
like
of frame and then back into frame. Yeah,
it's funny. Yeah, it was really good. Those movies are good though. Holy crap!
Was Trinity like the third one good or not?
Oh, don't get me wrong.
It had Ryan Reynolds in it too, dude.
Yeah, and it's funny because like I feel like all our conversations come back to Deadpool, but like it's funny to see the difference in tone of the type of humor that he was using in that movie, which is very similar to Deadpool, to the new one. Yeah. It's like it comes from like a different heart. Like
who Blade? Sorry, or
Ryan Reynolds in Blade 3.
Yes,
he's that Deadpool kind of thing, but he's like comes from like a meaner place when he says something. He says a lot of like derogatory like insults.
Okay,
so it's just funny how like it's taken so long for them to develop. How can we be edgy and weird without like being like mean and like
I hear that.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
but
good
Ryan,
movie. Highly recommend.
I don't think Ryan has changed much as an actor. Like you're paying for Ryan Reynolds to be Ryan Reynolds in every one of his films.
I think what's gotten better is his ability to like write those jokes.
I hear that. Yeah. Watching Blade, that's funny. Yeah, I could be keen on that.
The first
Blade
two was
good. Phenomenal. Exactly. Yeah, the first one is rad. There's people racing in our neighborhood.
I still maintain my favorite part of Blade 2, and it's something that I need you to do, and I've asked you to do this before, is you need to get the same haircut as Ron Perlman has. Because he has like he's shaved head, but he's got a strip of hair like
around the back.
And every time I see it, really? I'm like fascinated by this haircut, because they were like, yeah, they're edgy vampires, they need weird haircuts. Yeah, it's like his.
Oh, like, yeah, he does.
Yeah, picture your Your sideburns go up past your ears, and
Yes.
then there's a hard angle, and it just forms like a sweatband around your head.
I could
It's
do
so
that for a
good.
con. I could do that for a con pretty easily, actually.
Oh, you'd totally pull it off, yeah. Although I think
Yeah.
it's like a gross handlebar mustache or something like that. But
That's really funny. Yeah, I see it here.
yeah.
Ron Perlman. Oh my god.
Do
hot off the
recommend.
heels of Devilman. No, what was that movie? He was
Hellboy.
Hellboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Devilman. So it is.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, that's funny. Oh yeah, there's a figurine of him too, custom action figure, and it had it. Oh, so weird. Anyways.
What's his name in that movie? I don't remember. Ron Perlman.
Reinhardt.
Reinhardt. Yeah. So good.
I think Reinhardt.
So good. I love it.
Okay, well, he looks like Cypher from The Matrix.
Oh man. I believe it's the 25th anniversary of that movie next year.
Of which?
The Matrix.
Oh yeah.
It would be because 1999. We talked about this before.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of movies that have a 25th anniversary next year.
We're gonna have to just sit in theaters for the next year and a half and just watch every single one of those movies.
All of them. Every single one.
We should celebrate it though. We should maybe in our Discord, which by the way everybody should be in.
Join our Discord.
Join our Discord. We should have maybe a celebration where we post a movie trailer a day of the 25th anniversary of 1999 movies.
That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Or we just have everybody post their favorite trailer from 1999.
Yeah. There'd be a lot of movie trailer voice guy in that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Man, that guy.
That guy. I miss him.
Yeah.
In a world where scientists are outlawed.
We have a plumber from New York slides into the future with his brother. Mario. Luigi Mario. They don't know where they are. They're going to set out to get the princess. Oh
I still think that movie was great. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
1992, 3 Mario.
Yeah. Bob Hoskins.
It was good. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
It's like
Leguizamo, Hoskins, all the pros, all the up and comers were in that flick. Super
Luigi Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good movie. Anyway.
Shall we wind down a bit?
Wind her down. It's this,
okay.
this that time to wind her down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. We do have sketch prompts next week, right?
Is it next week?
Do we have sketch prompts next week?
Oh yeah, I guess we do. Holy.
Yeah.
Wait, is it this
So
week or next week? No, it's next week. Next week.
So if you're listening to this podcast between September 17th at 9:23 p.m. and September 26th at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Join our sketch prompts.
Yep.
If you're listening to this after September 26th, 2024, you missed out.
You missed
Sorry.
it. We do sketch prompts once a month though on our live stream. And
I like them.
You can join us in our Discord. That's great.
I have fun drawing.
I do
Although it's
too.
become a thing. It's become a thing where I only draw then.
Agreed.
Just like a lot of things we used to do with our stream. I only do it on
During the
here.
stream, Yeah. I do that with Mario Kart because we do Mario Kart, which by the way, everybody can join us on Sundays. Mario Kart open invite. I only ever play Mario Kart on Sundays. I'm not booting that up anytime throughout the week to practice. It's all about just having fun. It's not about winning.
It's not about winning.
It's not about winning.
Does Mags want to win though? She likes winning.
She came in first place a couple times this week.
She's getting good.
She's getting good. Yeah, Mags is getting pretty good at Mario Kart. It's great. Can I ask one question? The classic question at the end of
Absolutely.
a stream?
Please.
I once again I saw this on a TikTok and it kind of rattled me, and I've been asking people, and it's confusing to people. You have small, extra small, right?
Yes.
So small. Where does extra small fit?
Extra small is smaller than small.
Correct. If you got large and you got extra large, where does that fit?
Above
Correct.
large.
What's between medium and large, and small and medium? And if extra medium existed, where would that be?
Extra medium.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just so extra medium.
yeah.
It's sort of like brunch. What time is brunch? I don't know the rules.
that's yeah, noonish probably. Yeah,
It's just noonish.
noonish.
Yeah, it's whenever you get up.
Yeah, but extra medium.
Extra medium, I would say it's like a medium, but it's extra a little bit more.
You think more?
Yeah, I would say more for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, it's
You
extra
think it's
medium.
large, like medium, extra medium, and then large?
Like, when you go to the US for fast food and the medium's like a normal size cup, and then you get the large and it's like the plastic cup that's
True.
like giant.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want the extra medium.
Extra, exactly. Exactly. So I started referring to things as extra medium now because I agree with you. I feel like it's a plus for the medium. But then what goes between the small and the medium?
Oh no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
It would be extra small.
No, extra small is smaller than small.
It's extra small. It's extra small.
Extra small, XXXS is smaller. Extra
Right.
large, 4XL, 5XL, like is obviously bigger. But somehow there's not a rating system for anything that is between small and medium and large. I'm always a extra large shirt type guy. Like large is not bad, right? Sometimes if there was an extra medium, I could probably fit into an extra medium.
You broke my brain with this. Just
Right?
a little more.
Yeah, just a little more than medium, but not so roomy as large. Just give me an extra medium.
But if you ask for a small,
Mhm.
you're like, well, a little less than that. A little less.
I want a little bit more than small. I'm a little bit more than small, but a medium is like a tent on me. So I just want to insert whatever is the vocabulary for between small and medium.
What is we got to ask the public this. What is in between small and medium?
Now,
What size?
they might disagree and think that extra medium is actually smaller.
It's extra medium.
And if that's the case, it's extra medium. Like maybe it's smaller than medium. It's between small and medium. And then in that case, what's between medium and large?
You could go the other way. So extra medium could be exactly in the middle as far as like if we're measuring liquids, a medium is not necessarily half as much as a large. But if you got an extra medium, that's exactly the 50% of a large, between a large and a small.
Okay, hold on. So we're going extra small, small, medium, extra medium,
Right.
and then large, and then extra. No. There's got to be something between small and medium. I'm sorry. No, that can't happen.
It's gotta.
There's got to be A plus and an A minus, like a B plus and a B minus. Like there's got to be
right.
like on both sides of the scale on that. And medium is just not good sometimes, clothing wise for me in particular. An extra medium, if we're thinking about it being a little bigger, I wish companies made extra mediums.
Right.
But also
extra mediums.
But also, when I think about pizza, I would take an extra medium pizza because a large is sometimes too much pizza.
Right. An extra medium. Just a little extra.
Just a little bit more.
Little picante.
Yeah.
Little.
Extra medium. There's your question for the day.
That's crazy. That broke my brain.
It rattled my brain for sure.
I'm curious what other people will think. We're gonna clip this.
Yeah, I guess so. Extra medium.
Well,
You got nothing else?
no, that's it. Let's sign off.
Okay, well.
Thank you for watching or listening. Whoever you are, wherever you may be, however you're listening to this, thank you for doing whatever you do.
Nice.
Join our Discord, as we said. It's where the fun begins and ends. It's extra medium fun, I would say.
It's clever.
Clever.
And if anybody's wondering, I'm PJ, by the way.
Oh, right. And I'm Danny.
Nice. Should I play us out?
Play us out, keyboard cat.
Keyboard cat. Thank you for all of you who are watching. Go to our Discord.
If you want to join the streams, Discord is the best place to join our streams.
And you can check us out on Twitter. You can check us out on Instagram. You can check us out on Facebook. You can go to our website, retrologist.com. Yes, it's where you can actually check out all of our live streams when it's happening right now. You can also check out previous streams and highlights. You can also check out reviews of games that we've actually previously played and enjoyed.
What do we do?
We're two buffoons pretending to know shit about nothing.
Nice. And we just so happen to do it live on Twitch.